Okay, well, welcome to the Golden Triangle Wood Terrace meeting for October. What I'm going to talk about today is making these little Christmas ornaments. It's known as Morocco ornament because it's got all the spiraling on it that we do when we make our Morocco bowls. And it's pretty much similar to making one of those Morocco blue bowls. I don't usually do blue on a Christmas ornament, but I can. A little more volume. Okay. So this one is the way I was taught to do it. It's just basically a ball and then it's hollowed out and the bottom is not spiraled. It's just painted with some metallic silver paint and the top is just painted with some metallic silver paint. And this is the way I've been doing them. And it makes a very nice little Christmas ornament. I put some ribbon on the top of it, just kind of give it a little decoration. And they come out real nice. I've got the green one. I did do a blue one with a little different shape like that. And then a red one, and it's got an even different shape. So the shape is up to you, whatever you want to do. Okay. I kind of like the round ones myself. I've been doing some experimenting with them. This one I just did, well, this past week for practice. And it came out a little different. I decided I wanted to see if I could put a finial on it. And yep, I can put a finial on it. So this one's all glued together. These are not glued together. If you wiggle it just right, I can take the cap off. Okay, and I can get in there where I hollowed it. Okay, and it's just pressure fit. Okay, this one that I did, I made the hole thin enough that when I was pressing the cap in and out, it cracked. So I glued it in. And it's not gonna come out now. So the finial's glued in and the top is glued in on this one. So it should be good to go. And we'll take these two and we'll start passing these around. I start with a 2.5 or 3 inch squarish blank. This is not square by any means. This is soft maple. I picked up some of this stuff at the lumberyard in Fort Worth. I think it's Barney Robinson, probably 7 or 8 years ago. And he had a rack out in front. Anything on the rack was $10. So I got 3 pieces like this, about 8 or 10 foot long. And I've been making stuff out of them ever since. And I still got one about 8 foot long and one's down to about 4 foot right now. So what I do with that is I put a center finder on it. This is my favorite center finder. I can use a plastic one all day, but I'll grab this one because it really does a very accurate job. And I'll draw the lines. I do all 4 corners. And you can see it's not square. I get extra lines. But I'll take a center punch. This, I think Todd sells these too. Mine came from Harbor Freight, $6. I don't know what Todd sells it for. I don't either, but they're not terribly expensive, and it'll put a nice hole in there for you to get your everything centered right off the bat for you. So the other thing I do, you can put a number 2 Morse taper here and take your chuck off. I cheat. I'm lazy. This is a center. I can put it in the chuck. It's made to go into the jaws of the chuck, and I don't have to take my chuck off. So I've got my center here. I put it in that little divot that I put in there. And I'm going to find that one over here. Okay, now it's just on those 2 points. And I'm going to go ahead and crank it in. Okay. Okay, I always spin that to make sure that it's going to clear my tool rest. I never turn a lathe on if I haven't spun the piece first. And I'm going to simply take a spindle roughing gouge and I'm going to rough this to round. Okay, spindle roughing gouge. We're going to come in, we're just going to take the corners off. And I really don't care how rough this is, this surface. I'm just trying to get it to round. Yeah. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the angle on this tool. Instead of doing it as a spindle roughing gouge, I'm going to move this tool rest up just a little bit. Always turn your lathe off before you make that adjustment with your tool rest. Now I'm going to turn the tool 45 degrees. Okay. And I'm going to take another cut. And all I'm doing is leaning. And I'll take one more. Again, the tool is at about a 45-degree angle. And I am just rubbing that bevel. Okay. And now I've got a smooth cut. Same cut I would get if I was using a skew. Because that angle or that bevel on here is just the same angle as it is on a skew. Okay, now what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to turn this into a ball. Okay, so I can start that with the spindle roughing gouge. Actually, I don't want to do that yet. I want to go ahead and put a tenon on this. I'm going to change tools, put a tenon on. I'm going to pass this tool around. This is one of my favorite tools. It's always up at my lathe. If I need to make a tenon, one end makes it, the other end's a round skew. Real handy, very simple to make. Okay. Unfortunately, I ordered that from Robert Hope in England, and he no longer ships to the United States. But I think that tool could be fairly easily made. I'll make sure I go back in the same hole. Tighten this up. Okay. And I'll start it again with the rough and gouge. And now we'll switch over to a spindle gouge. I just want to find the widest part of this. And come down from there. I don't know why I have a handle on. I really don't use it much, especially on something this small. Once I have it almost round or fairly close to being round, I can finish it up pretty quickly. This is a shaping tool. This is not a sanding tool. This is a shaping tool. It's 60 grit. A little bump right there. I'll work that out. Robert Hope in England. But like I said, he won't ship anymore to the United States. I think I got about the last shipment that he shipped to the United States. He won't ship them. You know, somebody in England will buy them for you and ship them. He'll ship them to your friend in England. Or if you're over there, you know, you stop in one of the wood turning tool stores and you can pick them up. Okay. Okay, it's round. It's as round as it's gonna be. I'm lazy. I really don't want to have to figure out how I'm gonna sand this thing. So on my lathe, this has got magnets on it and Velcro on the front. So it just sits there on my lathe. And when I'm ready to sand, okay, well, you know, I'm not going to do a lot of sanding. I'm just going to go real quickly through the grits. But they sit right here on the Velcro. They're all in line, so I know the next one's the next grit. And we're going to go up to about 240, and I think we're done. You see that little bobble down here on the end? I don't care. Okay. That little bobble down at the end is all it's going to do is help me drill into that. And I don't like having to get out my drill chuck and find my 1/2 inch drill bit. So I've got one that has a number 2 Morris taper on it. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, like that. A little better. Okay. Okay. Well, I got ahead of myself again. I think I know that about where I want to drill to. And that might, so that tape might be a little bit. So we'll go just shy of that tape. No, I don't drill straight through. This is a 1/2 inch, and that's what I want to hollow with. On the other end, if I'm going to put a finial in it, I'll drill a 1/4 inch hole. And it won't be very deep. It'll just be, you know, 1/8 of an inch deep for the finial. Okay. So I bring this up, get it real close. And we want to go kind of slow. You don't want to go too fast when we're drilling. Now we're going to get rid of that. That's probably good enough. So now I have a 1/2 inch hole in here that I can maybe get a tool into. We'll see. I've got 2 hollowing tools that I use. Well, actually 3. I brought all 3 of them. This is the first one I'm going to use. Okay. Okay. It's simply an Allen wrench that I've glued into a handle and cut the most of the end of that handle off at that 90 degree and then beveled it and sharpened it. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Top is flat. Yep, I mean the top completely flat, and then there's the bottom and sides are rounded. I just, yep, sharpen the top. Okay. This one is the other one that I use. It's an Allen wrench. I heated it up with a MAPS gas torch. I put it into a vise, heated it up with a MAPS gas torch right here at the bin, and grabbed a hold of it with a pair of pliers and bent it from 90 to a 45 degree angle. Then cut it off and sharpen this in. Okay. That's all these are, is just Allen wrenches. I got a whole box of them. I have a whole box of them at home. So if anybody wants an extra one, and you don't have an extra one, I'll give you one. Who cares? I do have one other tool that I use. And I just kind of, I don't know why I hadn't seen this before, but I discovered this little tool. This is Cindy Droza miniature hollowing tool. And I happened to see him at SWAP this year. I don't know why. I've never seen him before, but this year was the first year I'd seen it down at SWAP. And I looked at that and I said, no, I'm going to have that. 125 bucks, but I've got it. Okay. And it does a really nice job. But you know what? Those two do 99% of my hollowing. I just use this one to make sure I've gotten everything that I wanted to get. The last one that I did, this one I did and put this tool in to try it, checked it out. It didn't take anything off at all. Everything got done by the Allen wrenches. So it was, but it's nice to have. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and do some hollowing. Let me show you a little bit of what I'm going to be doing, how I hollow. And it's not just me that does this. I mean, I've learned this from other professionals that do hollowing all the time. But what we have here is can we see this? Got it? Okay. What we've got is a ball with a hole in it. Okay. So I'm going to bring that little hook tool in here. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to set my wall thickness. So I'm going to start nibbling right in here. And then I'm going to work my way back. I'm just going to keep nibbling back as far as that little tool will let me go. And it's only going to let me go so far because it's not real long. Okay. So I'm going to probably get down in here kind of like this with that tool. Okay, and that'll about halfway is about as all the further I'm going to go with it. And that's it. Okay, but I'm just going to keep you'll see me chopping with it, and I go back a little bit at a time. Okay. Then when I come in with the one that the 45 degree, I can get a whole lot more coming in. And I'll be keep going like this with that 45 degree. And okay, sorry. And I'm going to keep going down. And I'm going to work my way back. And I'm going to get down in here. This one's going to be hard because I have to be real careful because I can't come all the way down like I came down here. Okay. So I have to remember where my wall thickness is as I come. And of course, if I take it on this side, it's going to take it on the other side too. Okay. But that's how you get the thing hollowed, is a little bit at a time. You come down and you'll feel you'll put the tool in here and you'll feel where there's a bump, and that's where you want to go down. Okay. You'll feel that bump. Pardon? I'm trying for about 3/8 to 1/4 inch, somewhere in there. I'd like it at like 3/8. Okay. Because you have to remember, I'm going to also spiralize the outside. So I got to have a little bit of wall thickness. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use this one. We're going to go in here. I want to make sure that I'm about centered. Yep, I am. I'm just about dead center. So, yep. Because I don't want to waste all my time spiraling. I don't want to waste all my time spiraling something that I might start hollowing and blow through. Okay. This is not an exact science. So that's why. I mean, yeah, I could do all the spiraling now, but then if I blew it, then I've wasted all that time spiraling. So I do all the hollowing first, and then if I got it hollowed and it's looking pretty good, then I can do the spiraling. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna See, I'm just coming back to that center hole and I'm coming back down. Now, my problem is now I can't get in there. My hole is filled with shavings. I have a portable air compressor. Usually I take my air compressor and blow that out. All right, I'm just back as far as I can go. My tool won't go any deeper than I am right now. Okay, I've hit the wood on the tool rest. That's it. I can go here. That's all I can do with this one. Oh, we'll change to our one with 45 degrees. About that big. I have no idea. No, I've never had them flex. These are pretty hefty steel. They're heat treated because they have to be able to have that torque. Okay. Well, I can get back a whole lot further now with this one. Got the bottom pretty good. I think it's pretty good. This one, the tool rest has to come down just a bit. It's thicker than a Allen wrench. And about the only thing I got was that little bump back there with this one. So we're all hollowed. Okay. Now we'll do the spiral. You can do as much or as little spiraling as you want. There's no rules. The spiraling tools do all the work. You just have to hold it. Problem with holding the spiraling tools is they want to run away with you. So once you get it in there, you want to leave it right where it's at until you see the grooves appearing. Okay. So I think I want to put a track right about here. Okay. And in order to get a track, I'm going to use this mini hollowing tool. And Back it up a little bit so we got enough room. And I think we'll put a diamond track on it. This is the medium. There is a much finer one. Okay. And I'm at 452. That's about where I want to be, between 450 and 500. And I'm going to go in, because the wood is curved, I'm going at an angle so I get the tool going the direction I want it to go. And I can see those tracks appearing. And now I'm done. Okay. Now I'm going to highlight that. Another homemade tool, little tri-point tool. This end is a tri-point. This end is a scoochie gouge. And I use that little scoochie gouge a lot, especially when I'm doing finials. With a little tri-point tool, and then also the handle is homemade. Aluminum bar stock from eBay, hose from Home Depot. Turn between centers and just kind of polish it up. I put it in the jaws. I've got pin jaws, and put this end in the pin jaws, round this over with my wood turning tools, makes a nice, even, pretty corner. Do the same thing on this end so it's nice and smooth. Take some sandpaper and sand it up. Slide this on there. Drill here for the size tool you want. Drill here and tap it for whatever you want with this is a wheel, but you can use these little set screws as well. Okay. Easy to make, fun to do, and you can do it on your wood lathe. Okay, with using all your regular wood turning tools. All right, so we have this little track going around. Now I'm going to go ahead and let me speed this up a little bit. I'm going to define it by putting a little bitty line here and here. Okay, so now we have that track defined. So that's good for this end, but I'll need something similar on the other end. So I'm going to go do that now. And again, you got to get your tool rest back out of the way far enough that you can get this wheel in here. And we're going to define it like this. So we'll put that track back in here. That's defined. Now we'll put the little line here and a line here. And got the lines on both sides. Okay. So I'm lazy. I'm not going to do a whole lot with this. I think I'll take this wheel and I think we'll make an angle like this. It's 517 right now. So I'm going to put a little, see if I can get something here going down. And then I'm going to turn it the other way. And we'll come back the other way with it. See what I can get. Okay, I got a mess, but yeah, it might work. And we want to define that one. So I'll put a little line here. We want a little more speed to that line. Here. And here. Okay. We'll see. This is the smallest one. I'll just turn that back down. Actually, no, I'm gonna keep it up a little bit. This one I'm gonna do about 740, 712, 712. This is a knurling tool. This is a bigger knurling tool. Okay, we're spiralized. Now, I need to get all that fuzzies off of there. I don't want to sand this, because the sanding will just take all of my spiraling off. So what I do is I use the shavings and I burnish it. Okay. We're turned, we're hollowed, and we've got all the spiraling on there that we're going to do right now anyway. Okay, so now I want to put a little color on it. I've got red and I've got blue. Anybody got preferences? Red. All right, red's got the votes. Well, I've got all the copy markers and I've got the copy gun and everything. I love it. It works perfectly. And I use it all on my pendants and a lot of other things. I would have used it tonight, but I'd have brought a compressor and yeah, I use it on it, but you know, I can use a brush. So we'll protect the blade a little bit. And we'll put some red dye on here. I'm just going to saturate it. This is chestnut spirit stain. The chestnut spirit stain has shellac in with the dye. So if you're going to use an airbrush, you need to clean it really well with the chestnut dyes, because that shellac in there will clog up your airbrush real quick. Well, when you're using a brush, you can get a whole lot more coverage than when you were using the air compressor. Yeah, the chestnut spirit stains have shellac in it. Okay. So you have to know what you're dealing with when you use this stuff. Hampshire has come out with water-based stains, and I've got all of those as well. I haven't used them much yet. I was down at SWAT, watched Martin Saban-Smith use his dyes, which is the Hampshire dyes that I've got. So I'm encouraged. I'm going to go home. I'm going to try that. It's just that I had some other things in the way. Last weekend, Sam and I were in Chicago for the Segmented Wood Turns Symposium. We had an absolute blast. I've learned a whole bunch of stuff. I've got all kinds of new ideas. My brain's going about 50 miles an hour. and I'm anxious to get home and start doing some of it. But when I got home, I had to be concentrated on this so I could do it for y'all. So, all right, we got our dyes, a red dye on there. And I'm going to go ahead and turn this thing on and let it dry. I use little bits of t-shirt. Do not ever put paper towel on a spiralized piece, because it will eat that paper towel up and you will be picking paper towel out of all your spirals for hours on end. Ask me how I know. Been there, done that. And the t-shirt's right here. So, okay. I've got it pretty well dried, so I can put some enhancement wax on there. No, I haven't done that yet. Well, I'll take that back. Yes, I have. I've made lots of platters with wide rims that I've done multiple colors on. A lot of times I will do like Martin Saban Smith did and put black on and then sand it back off. So you leave only the real highlights of it. There we go. No, I've never done it with the Moroccan textures. Okay. Could you do it? Sure. Well, I can't sand this back off, but if I could put some little dobs of blue or something on here and try and get some purples if I wanted to. I mean, just experiment. There's no reason why you have to do anything with just one color. I mean, you can put multiple colors on it. If you don't like it, you know, you always turn it back off. Well, you can't. It does. Sometimes you're going to fill it in with wax. So I've done that. Actually, you get an overhead on this. Okay. You see the cap right there? You see the spiral on that? That was done after it was dyed. The purple was already on there. I spiralized it and drew the lines and then put the white wax on and then finished it. Okay. So yeah, it's certainly doable. Okay, so now we're going to put a little of this. This is my favorite. This is white. It's embellishing paste wax, Hampshire sheen embellishing paste wax. The trick with this stuff is don't be chintzy. You got to put it on here and you have to fill all the holes and all the lines full of wax. You get gaps and it becomes very visible. You can get this from Wood World of Texas. Yeah, they carry it. Actually, they're the United States distributor for Hampshire sheen products. Well, some Hampshire sheen products. The walnut log in St. Louis has the distribution rights for some of the other ones. So it's between the two of them, you can get everything, or almost everything that they've got in their line. Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, then my understanding is Jeff has also worked with Easy Wood Tools, who just bought the Yorkshire grit stuff. So he said there will be a price drop on the Yorkshire grits because he doesn't have to pay import fees anymore because it's going to be made in the United States. So, yeah, this stuff is pricey, but it does a good job. All right, I think I got all the holes filled. The white actually has some mica powder in it, which kind of gives it a little extra sheen. You can see some of the mica powder on it coming off. There you go. It's pretty well dry now. Yep. Actually, what I would normally do now is I would normally take this as a lacquer. It's Mohawk pre-catalyzed clear lacquer. It's gloss. The reason I use this is the spray nozzle in the can. Every other can that I bought, rattle can, has a fan spray. Okay. And that's the way it comes out. This stuff comes out in a cloud. It's really fine. So it just kind of floats down over it. It takes more coats to get the, but it doesn't run. And it's just comes out really well. And I really like it. I get this, I buy this online. But they tell me if you go to Elliott's Hardware in Dallas, they carry it in stock. Oh, there's an Elliott's in Allen too? Okay. Yeah, but this is what they carry this in stock. So, but it was, I don't know. I ordered, last time I ordered was 6 cans, and I think the shipping fee was like $9. And I figured if I was going to Dallas or Allen to pick it up, I'd probably use $9 in gas anyway. So I might as well just order it and get 6 cans and I'm done with it. Okay. Okay. Mohawk pre-catalyzed clear lacquer. That's the M1020410. That's the part number on it. And if you put that M102-0410 in, it'll pop up in Google. Okay. But I'm not going to do that now because I don't want to waste time standing around waiting for it to dry. Now what I want to do is I want to get ready to part this thing off, and I'm going to make a little lid for it. I do have another little tool. It gets me out of some of these tight places. This is a Cindy Droza tool. Well, I don't use it all the time. When I do use it, I really appreciate it. Okay. Okay, now I need to make a cap for it. And I want a 1/2 inch tenon on there. Short that one up. We're getting there. So that's what we want. I know my cap will fit. I just need to take some excess wood off of it. So this one might do it. That's good. I told you when I was a beginning wood turner, I went to a lot of y'all shops and looked around, and how many chucks did you have? 8 or 9 chucks? I said, when I went to your shop the first time, I looked around and you had like 8 or 9 chucks. Sam, you had 7 or 8. You know, everybody had, how come you have so many chucks? Well, I don't like taking 8 screws out and putting 8 screws back in every time I want to change jaws. Well, I'm just as lazy as y'all are. $225 to $300 for a chuck. Jaws are all the same price. This chuck was 400, a little over 400. But I can change chucks faster than y'all can change. I can change jaws faster than y'all can change chucks. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to see if I can get this thing down here. Grab a hold of this. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. All right, we'll do a little sanding on it. Just kind of clean it up. Since I've got it here, I might as well spiral it. Well, now I have to get the drill chuck out. Because I want to put a little bitty screw rod in here. So since I've got it in the position it's in, okay. The screw eyes that I'm using are a little bigger than what we would normally use, but I like to put the ribbon through it. So I need just a little bit bigger of a loop. So I'm using something about like this. Okay. It's not real big, but it's bigger than I would normally use. I'm going to open this up just a little bit. Sand that edge just a little bit. And since I've got it on here, we'll go ahead and color it. We'll get our red brush back out. And our red dye. And we'll just go ahead and finish that one up. We shouldn't put that screw eye in there, but we got it. Okay. Friction fit. Okay. Any questions? Okay, thank you much. Yes. Sure. You get an overhead. And it's red, just like y'all wanted.